The plump consort was despised by the emperor simply for sweating too much. The scheming noble consort seized this opportunity to push her into the water. Even her 8-year-old child was not spared. Watching the mother and son desperately struggling in the water, the scheming noble consort secretly rejoiced in her heart. Now no one could compete with her son for the position of crown prince. Just as the plump consort was on the verge of death, a modern woman encountered an accident during a meeting. Her soul transmigrated into the plump consort's body. After learning about the plump consort's tragic circumstances, the woman resolved to seek justice for her, so she immediately went ashore and began rescuing the boy, even disregarding propriety to perform mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. But this scene happened to be witnessed by the emperor. Everyone condemned her for violating decorum. They then demanded the emperor severely punish the woman. The woman flew into a rage upon hearing this. She warned that anyone who delayed her rescue efforts would be thrown into the lake to feed the fish. At this moment, the imperial physician hurried over to check the first prince's pulse. He discovered the first prince had already stopped breathing. The emperor was grief-stricken upon learning this. After all, this was his first child. The noble consort then seized the chance to frame the woman for murdering the prince. She requested the emperor execute her entire clan. Unexpectedly, the very next second, the first prince was revived by the woman. The emperor was overjoyed at the sight. He immediately showed concern for his plump son. This infuriated the scheming noble consort. She said even though the first prince had awakened, it did not change the fact that the woman had attempted to harm the prince. The confused emperor believed these words. He prepared to confine the woman to the cold palace for reflection. The woman could no longer tolerate this. She shoved the noble consort into the water with one push. The panicked noble consort pulled the emperor down with her. Both of them fell into the water together. After being rescued, the emperor was furious. He ordered the woman confined to the cold palace for 1 month. Then he left in a disheveled state. The scheming noble consort wanted to torment the mother and son. She ordered that only spoiled rice and leftovers be delivered to them. She was certain the 200-pound woman could never last a month. Soon the maid looked at the pitifully small amount of food with worry. She feared they would starve to death within 7 days. But the woman was not panicked at all. Instead, she locked the door from inside. Then she casually snapped her fingers. Suddenly a shopping system appeared. The maid and the first prince were stunned. As she clicked on the virtual interface, a sofa materialized out of thin air in the room. Then she conjured a washing machine and refrigerator. After addressing their basic living needs, the woman began her weight loss plan. Because the noble consort had once competed for favor, she not only schemed to make the woman and her son suffer from obesity, but also frequently bullied the mother and son. So she resolved to train strictly within 1 month, while also hiring renowned teachers to educate the prince, preparing to compete with the noble consort's son for the crown prince position. After a month of effort, the first prince had learned much new knowledge. The mother and son both successfully lost weight and transformed. At this time, the scheming noble consort still knew nothing about this. She assumed they had long since starved to death in the cold palace. This day happened to be when the Empress Dowager returned to the palace. The noble consort wanted to please the Empress Dowager. She carefully selected gifts for her son to present to the Empress Dowager. The Empress Dowager was very pleased with the gifts. She even praised the noble consort for educating her son well. The scheming noble consort secretly rejoiced. She thought the crown prince position was surely within reach. Unexpectedly, the Empress Dowager suddenly asked about the first prince. The noble consort hastily fabricated lies. She slandered the woman for harming the first prince, saying if not for the emperor's timely rescue, the first prince would have likely lost his life. The Empress Dowager was enraged upon hearing this. She then had someone summon the woman for questioning. The scheming noble consort was secretly delighted, because she had already arranged for someone to tamper with the woman's ceremonial dress. She was certain the obese woman could not fit into it. Unexpectedly, the woman had already successfully lost weight. Not only was her figure graceful and her appearance beautiful, but the altered dress also fit perfectly. Upon learning of the Empress Dowager's summons, she immediately came with her son and gifts. Just as the scheming noble consort waited to see the woman humiliated, the woman appeared in her ceremonial dress, stunning everyone. Everyone present was left completely speechless.